We have recap from the Super Bowl.
We got one last ride in J.J. Watt.
And All-Star Snubs.
Right here on Sports Cubed. We are live, Season 2, Episode 5 of Sports Cubed. I'm Kyler Gammon.
I'm Branton Beard.
And I'm Eli Grimes.
Well, we kind of missed the last 2 weeks because of weather, and we couldn't really do the show because of bad road conditions. So let's dive right into it. We have a special 1-hour show for you guys because we have so much news to talk about. And why not talk about the hottest game probably of the year, Super Bowl 55, and it was not close at all.
Who would have thought? You know?
Just saying, the only one that picked the Bucks to win.
Here we go again.
Just saying.
Here we go.
That's
It
all I'm
definitely
going to
didn't
say.
live up to the hype here. It's Buccaneers all the way. Starting out here with a strong running by Ronald Jones early on in this game. Really, still didn't get the first points of the game, but didn't really matter in the swing of things. Tom Brady looking, who's he going to find? I believe that's Chris Godwin over the right side of the field.
Yeah, this Chiefs defense really did not have an answer for this Bucs offense.
No.
I mean, I think that this really shows that whenever you have a complete Buccaneers team, as Gronkowski gets the first touchdown of the game rolling, I think that whenever you have a complete Buccaneers team, they are so dominant. And
Tom Brady really spread the ball around this entire game. It was a very balanced offense this entire game.
I mean, the Chiefs' offense had no answer for the Buccaneers' defense. Obviously, there was the stat of I think Patrick Mahomes was the most pressured quarterback in the entire Super Bowl as Gronk gets his second touchdown right there with the second Gronk spike.
Here is Antonio Brown. Call God, he's going to get his touchdown to resurrect his football career here in Tampa. Much needed for Antonio Brown to get this ring and get back on the football field.
I mean, who would have thought? If you'd have told me that Antonio Brown would come back to football and get a ring with the GOAT himself.
Yeah, I would have thought you were crazy.
It's unbelievable. As I think it's Fournette, right? Yep. Chugging his way along into the end zone for the score. And
he had a heck of a postseason.
Exactly. But here, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he literally had no help. I mean, he's chucking it deep, and that gets picked off.
You got to give credit to this Bucs defense. They had an answer for everything. They played this game as perfect as they could.
Lights out.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, this is unreal.
This sums up the Super Bowl in one play.
I mean, he is running for his life.
You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He did everything.
Throws a laser, falling down, and they drop it.
That's a touchdown.
Hits him in the
That
face.
is a touchdown if right in his hands.
Multiple people have said it. That is the best incompletion ever.
I've got to agree with that.
You're not going to find a better incomplete pass than that one right there.
I mean, who would have thought? I mean, the Buccaneers last year were coming off Jameis Winston, okay? Most picks thrown ever, and I really thought that Carson Wentz this year was going to break that. We'll get into that later. But I really thought that the Bucs would need a drastic, after last season, a drastic turnaround.
Yeah.
And whenever you bring in Tom Brady, I mean, instantly, obviously Super Bowl winning champs, and it's unreal. It is unreal.
He makes everyone else better around him.
Yeah, it's not only his talent, which definitely he's proven that he has. It's just that leadership quality and experience that he brings to a team.
I mean, it's best quarterback of all time. I mean, arguably best NFL player of all time. Kind of tough to say.
There's a lot to say
Yeah,
with
you
that.
can't.
but
Yeah, you can't really.
For the quarterback position, yes, in my opinion.
Great Super Bowl, lived up to the hype, and I mean, to an extent, I think, but it was just phenomenal to watch, in my opinion. And we had some pretty sad news, really sad. Vincent Jackson he was wide receiver for these Los Angeles/San Diego Chargers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was found dead in his home at 38. And thoughts and prayers go out to the family. They're thinking maybe CTE behind that, and it's just awful. We love watching the NFL, but what it does to players' bodies is really drastic, and it's awful to see. Horrible story. Yeah. And hopefully the family can recover from their loss. And I mean, great football player. I mean, phenomenal football player. Had great years with the Chargers and Bucs. Really consistent, I think. I think it was really Philip Rivers' consistent target along with Antonio Gates whenever he played. So, unfortunate. Rest in peace, Vincent Jackson. Moving on.
One last ride.
One last ride, huh?
Mr. Ben Roethlisberger. Ooh. You hear that? Hear that? Cleveland Browns fans, quiet. I don't hear anything out of Cleveland. Who's coming? He's coming. Ben Roethlisberger. looking one last shot. Gonna get the band back together. Juju Smith-Schuster saying today, I want to have my legacy here in Pittsburgh. I want to retire there. I don't want to leave. Sounds like a devoted team. One goal.
How much cap money you got?
How much cap money?
How much cap money do you got?
I think Big Ben's. We're not getting first round exit. We're not first round exits this year.
Are you sure with the ball flying? The ball flying over your head.
Marquise Pouncey's in Canton. He's not gonna put over Ben's head this time. We gotta get a running game going, and we're not first round exits.
And with that, kind of Steelers fans I think are kind of reaching a little bit for J.J. Watt as the mitochondria theory right here. Right. Go ahead, Brandon. Give an explanation.
All right. So mitochondria has DNA. J.J. Watt shares DNA with both T.J. and Derek Watt. J.J. Watt to Steelers confirmed?
Unbelievable.
It makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense right here. Mitochondria has a C in it. Cleveland Browns confirmed? I don't think so. Mitochondria was discovered in I can't read that from here. But that's the same year Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Does that mean Dallas confirmed?
No, please, no.
But the amount of craziness aspiring from one tweet just shows how good of a player J.J. Watt is and how loved his career has been in the NFL.
And I cannot wait to break that news in the coming weeks on this show. Like there's so much news, as we'll get into this one in particular in just a second. But there's so much. I mean, quarterbacks getting moved around. There's so much news, like J.J. Watt. I mean, a big time free agents, maybe Juju. Like, who knows?
This is a big year. There's a lot of big names that have.
I mean, did the Jets finally trade Sam Darnold? Like, which I think it'll happen. But I just love it. I love it. I mean, this free agency is literally wild, and the cap situation with COVID makes it really interesting. And
that the Bears have done nothing? No, not at all.
Well, we've done something. He's gone. Mr. Carson Wentz.
Bye-bye.
Shipped him off to Indy with Frank Reich, as many predicted. And we get a second-round pick from this year and a third-round conditional in 2022. Nice. Originally thinking about it, I would have liked a second-rounder this year at least. I doubt we were probably going to get a first. First was probably my dream. But look, kind of sitting on it, I've kind of gotten over it a little bit because at the end of the day, Carson Wentz didn't want to play in Philadelphia. That's evident. And the way that I see it, I mean, there's so many reports, and we're not in the locker room to see. But, it was just good for both sides. I'm over the whole Wentz versus Hurts deal. I'm over Wentz being upset. I'm done with it. I'm just ready to move on. Our organization is still a dumpster fire. We still have general manager Howie Roseman in the building, so it's a dumpster fire. I'm just ready for draft day. That's it. I hope that we can ride with Hurts. That I don't.
Do you buy into the stock of they're bringing another QB for competition? Do you buy into that stock?
As long as it's not a rookie, I'm fine with that.
Taking a rookie
I think
at 6?
Here's the deal: if you bring in a guy like for example Fitzpatrick, love that move.
Yeah.
Love that move.
I think it'll be a great
because
team.
Hurts has the running ability. Don't get me wrong. That's evident. But it's just the passing. It's just the passing. And that's his biggest weakness. But we bring in Florida coach Brian Johnson, who's known Jalen Hurts. Let's just see what happens, man. I'm not expecting high hopes for this year, to be honest. So I'm just like, let's just roll with it. I just want to see a guy in Philadelphia. I don't want to be bounced around quarterbacks. So we're gonna switch gears to. You know what? That might be the fastest we've ever thrown through a football segment. Yeah. Seriously, that might be the fastest. But I want to try to get everything in because there's so much. There's so much. There's a little bit of a controversy regarding the All-Star game. The All-Star rosters were released last night. And a lot of snubs, the biggest one out of all of them, and I agree. How in the world does Devin Booker not get in the All-Star game? How?
I agree. It's crazy. And Lucas said it himself. He didn't agree with it. And if you have players themselves saying that they're not sure if they really should have made it over another guy, it's evident that you should have put in Devin Booker.
Dude, me and Drew were talking about this yesterday. Zion Williamson made it in the All-Star game. You're telling me that Zion Williamson makes it over Devin Booker?
Yeah.
Get out of here. And then there's some other ones like Sabonis, I think that's how you pronounce his name, from the Pacers. And then Trae Young, obviously in Atlanta. and Bam Adebayo in Miami. But I think out of all of them, probably between Booker and Sabonis, I'm probably butchering his name maybe, but I think between those two, I think it's probably the biggest because the Pacers have been really bad this year. Obviously, when he was Oladipo, so they needed a guy to step up.
Yeah.
And he's been it for him, like 100%. His stats completely showing it. It's why I saw the yesterday. Obviously, I'm kind of a half Sixers fan. I don't follow basketball too much, but like when it comes to postseason, I'll probably rock for the Sixers. But I'm like, okay, Devin Booker didn't get in. Okay, all right. It was just interesting. A lot of controversy. I remember. I think I seen LeBron even tweeted about it. And like, if you have the greatest basketball player playing right now tweet about that, okay, something's a little bit fishy. Man, this play right here that we're about to talk about is really a shame because obviously everybody says if this certain thing didn't happen, this kid would have been a stud in the NBA for years to come, and he's been bouncing around a lot of teams. Derrick Rose got traded from Detroit Pistons to the New York Knicks. I mean, really unfortunate, man. I
kind of like this trade for the Knicks.
I do too. I really do.
It's definitely fortunate for the Knicks because they already have the #1 defense in the NBA right now. Adding a veteran leadership to that locker room to grow and flourish in other players, they're looking to get to the postseason the first time in how long? I can't even tell you.
Off the top of my head, I can't. I'm probably like whenever Melo played there. I mean, but
back in the Stoudemire days,
Amari Stoudemire and Melo, man, those were Jeremy Lin, Linsanity, Linsanity, baby.
Yep.
But man, it's so unfortunate, man, because Derrick Rose had the highest potential. I mean, out of a lot of NBA players.
That was my favorite player as a kid growing up. I was such a huge Chicago Bulls fan, and then he got hurt, and everything just.
Exactly. And like I said, it's horrible to see, but I guess just like you said, I love the move for the Knicks personally, because it just like you said, I think it needs to spark something for the Knicks, right? I mean, the Knicks are really bad, for years, and so I think whenever you can get a trade for it, I think you might as well run with it and say, hey, look, Derrick Rose, technically there's not a ton of superstars with Derrick Rose, so maybe Derrick Rose can maybe kind of shine a little bit. Here's his stats with New York. Because obviously he got traded whenever we were not doing the show. So he's averaging around 10.9 to 11 points per game, give or take. He's averaging one steal per game, 3.9 assists per game, 88% from the free throw line, and .384 from field goal. So solid stats. I mean for starting out, he's probably I'd say a 6th, 7th man rotation.
Yeah, he's been off the bench, and really he's been working with JJ Redick really well. And like I said, they're trying to get in the postseason for the first time in however long.
I mean, the odds of that happening though, like I just don't.
They're giving them some life. Knicks fans haven't had anything to cheer for a while. Give them a little bit of hope. Give them a couple of wins.
You have to remember that Derrick Rose is playing with Tom Thibodeau again.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's true.
Yeah,
that's very
true.
true.
This is really going to bring a lot of chemistry to this team, and I think that's going to give them a great chance to make the postseason.
I really want to see Derrick Rose shine. I want to see him shine in New York, and I think he has a great ceiling to do that. I mean, whenever he was with the Timberwolves and he dropped the iconic, I think it was like 50 something.
Yeah,
50. Like that was so awesome to see.
Everybody was a
everybody
fan that day. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and it was with the Timberwolves, so it wasn't. It was like a powerhouse like the Warriors at the time, or anybody with
it was
with
just
LeBron.
Such a great thing to see. Everybody was happy about that.
I mean, I don't think that there's one NBA fan that will say that they don't want Derrick Rose to succeed. Like that dude's battled everything.
Players in the NBA.
Well, switch sports a little bit. We'll start off with probably the biggest deal and one of the hottest free agents, Trevor Bauer. Finally, he left Branton Cincinnati Reds to go to the powerhouse Dodgers. I mean, can the Dodgers get any better? Seriously. I mean, the Dodgers are stacked right now. I mean, stacked and loaded. Like, that is unreal. 3-year, $102 million deal.
And he lost his bet. He said that he would not sign anything but 1-year deals the rest of his career, or he would lose a bet to one of his buddies. He didn't say what the bet was, but because he has signed this 3-year deal, that bet is now off the table.
Former Cy Young winner, or current technically Cy Young winner from this past season. And I mean, seriously, if you look at the Dodgers team, how could they be stopped? You have a phenomenal hitting crew, like Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, who had an insane postseason. And, like, the pitching backs it up, and the bullpen. I mean, I think Kenley Jansen maybe struggled a tad bit, but I mean, he's still a great bullpen piece, obviously. And their starting rotation's loaded. Yeah. Like Kershaw, I just went like Bueller, and then now Trevor Bauer. Yeah. I mean, come on. And then Julio Urias, he actually closed out the World Series. I think he had kind of a little flash in the postseason, so hopefully that they can ride that with him. But dude, I mean, who's stopping the Dodgers? Seriously.
Nobody.
I mean, will they go undefeated?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
They got to rest some people.
That would be something. I mean, it's nuts. Like this is I can't think of a other powerhouse MLB team that I've seen in a long time. I mean, okay, Braves. Good point, John. Good point. Good point. I mean, probably 90s Braves were obviously insane in the day, but I mean, maybe the Red Sox, like with Big Papi, maybe.
I mean, even then, there's just not many teams that are as well-rounded as what the Dodgers are right now.
It's unreal. Like this looks like an MLB The Show franchise with
really,
with like salary cap off and trade logic off. Like it's wild. And the fact that they even had the cap room and money to do that. I mean, $102 million is not an easy chunk of change for 3 years. I mean,
somebody's taking a pay cut.
It's unreal. Like it's unreal. I mean, and they also brought back, I think, Justin Turner too. Their third baseman. Now they did lose Jock Peterson, but they're still bringing in guys. It's like, are they just going to run? I'm a Cardinals fan, but if I was a bettor, I would definitely put my money on the Dodgers winning this shit. Like it's unreal. So on my next question with that is who do you see competing in the AL with that? I'd say Blue Jays. I'm giving Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Maybe Blue Jays. I mean, kind of sneak in there.
You can't see anybody else.
I mean, because Astros are pretty much. I think they've fallen off. good call. But I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think of AL teams. I can't think of anything off the top of my head other than the Blue Jays because they've had an insane offseason that can really pair up with that stat. I mean, because I think the Rays, Padres. True. Padres. I just thought of the Padres. Speaking of which, Padres, I totally forgot about this news. Fernando Tatis Jr. signs that massive deal. I think it was like 14 years or something like that.
14
years. I totally forgot about that. Kind of going up the win year. I totally forgot about that until just now.
Can't read sign language.
I can't read sign language, Drew. I'm sorry, man. I can't read it. $320 million.
$320 million contract.
14-year deal. Unreal.
You're talking about Tom Brady's going to be in his 70s, 80s? No.
And working on his 50th Super Bowl.
No, seriously, like he'd be he's what 43?
Yeah.
So whenever that deal's up, he will be that'd be 50, 54? 57? 57? Man, I totally got my math wrong. But dude, he's like almost 6 years old whenever that's unreal to me. I mean, but that's one team. And what's crazy is the Dodgers and the Padres are in the same division.
Yeah, you're going to see them all
Oh, my word.
Going to be a lot of home run balls.
I mean, because here's the deal. I think the problem with the Padres last year was, they were on a hot start with their bats. I mean, hitting home runs left and right. Slam Diego Padres is what they're called for a decent bit. But, I mean, like, I think they're fine on the hitting, obviously. But, dude, they brought in Blake Snell. The pitchers from the Rays, I think Yu Darvish, right?
Correct? Darvish, yeah.
Yu Darvish as well. They're stacked on the pitching side. I'm serious. Like, this division is going to be nuts. The NL West is going to be nuts coming into the season. Speaking of which, going into the season, I just have a lot of great transitions here, I think. Not trying to toot my own horn or something like that, but spring training has officially started, so baseball season has officially started. I know a lot of baseball fans are happy. I am too, but I love my football. I love my football. I love my football. But I'm excited to see Nolan Arenado. You got Sonny Gray on the left and Chris Bryant on the right. I guess I'm the one that could probably say this. Doesn't Nolan Arenado just look great in that Cardinal red? Doesn't he just look great in that Cardinal red? It's just awesome to see. I'm really excited to see what the Cardinals do this year. But now, Brandon, I'll ask you, since you know more about the Reds than I do, what do you see that? You just lose Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, you lose Trevor Bauer, so that's taking a huge hit to your
Joey Votto is pretty much on the tail end.
Joey Votto's on the tail end of his career. He has said that he wants to be dangerous at the plate. He's upset with his averages this year. He's got to get that better. But really, it comes down to hitting in general. You didn't score any runs. You were that close with Adesanya Aquino to getting the game-winning run last year to put up some points for Trevor Bauer. Didn't happen. You got to start hitting the ball.
Exactly.
I mean, they did swing for a home, and they didn't get anywhere. It just pop fly. You didn't put any thought into trying to get single base.
I think that's definitely the biggest. That's obviously the biggest struggle for the Reds. Is like Aquino has shown. It's definitely shown flashes.
Yeah.
He was on that crazy run. I think I can't remember if it
2
was
years ago.
2 years back. Yeah. It was nuts. But I think that you need to have a consistent player now.
Right, and
I
Nicholas
was about to say
Castellanos.
Castellanos.
He was red hot in the regular season, but you get to the postseason,
Ice cold.
He actually had one. He only had one base hit. Like,
Wow. That whole postseason.
The whole postseason.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
you got to have more
consistency.
consistency if you're going to if you're going to get anywhere.
It's like I think where now just looking at the Cardinals side real quick, I think the Cardinals struggle is going to be their pitching kind of because obviously I think Flaherty had a great 2 years ago. 2 years ago, yeah, it was 2 years ago. He had a great. I mean, he looked like the ace for the Cardinals for a long time. He was lights out. But then this past year, he took a major, or not major, but I mean he took a minor step back. So it was kind of questioned like, is he really the guy? And obviously they bring Waino back, but Waino's pretty much tail end. You're not gonna have that strong production just like what you did. So the hitting is there for the Cardinals. It's definitely there. I mean, you bring in Arenado, you bring in I think Dylan Carlson. He's a switch hitter. Oh wow, my paper just went flying. Wow, unbelievable. But I think Carlson, he's a switch hitter. Great potential. I don't really know where you fit in Matt Carpenter anymore.
You talking about deep talent over there?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, and I think you still have Tommy Edman. It's unreal. But where they struggle is the pitching side, and it's kind of polar opposites of the Reds because the Reds have great pitching and Sonny Gray. Well, I mean Trevor Bauer left, but
Luis Castillo.
Yeah, Castellanos has shown flashes as well. So actually MVP of the All-Star game one year.
MVP of the All-Star game, I believe, 2017.
17, 18, around there. It's somewhere around there. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's definitely shown flashes of a great ace or a great second piece.
That and one of the problems, even though we have good starters, we haven't had good closers. Amir Garrett really struggled toward the later parts of the year,
and that's really unfortunate because he did look like the guy in Cincinnati for quite some time. I don't know. The All-Star stuff is really interesting because you have, and kind of switching gears. That's my fault for not clarifying. But the All-Star stuff with the NBA is really interesting because it's like you're in this COVID. Well, I don't want to say COVID year, but you're in this still COVID
recovery.
Recovery. So it's like obviously I think they originally moved I think they had the All-Star game originally in Indy. Could be wrong. I think they did.
Yeah.
They did. Yep. So and then they move it to Atlanta. So. It's very interesting. Obviously, I don't think any fans. I doubt any fans would be there. No,
so.
Probably now. Yep. See, clarifying. Shout out to you guys, clarifying the goats. So no fans, which really sucks because the slam dunk contest will just not be the same at all.
That's what makes an All-Star game better is just fan interaction. Because I know NFL Pro Bowl is, but isn't NBA? That's mostly fan voted, correct? Mix it with some,
yes.
Yeah,
Clarify.
yeah.
I see all this is some.
Yeah, coaches and players. Yeah, because I know the fans were trying to get Choco Fallen last year, so
That's true.
So having fans there is what that game's all about. Without fans, I mean, All-Star game.
Well, it's like how do you do the slam dunk contest?
Exactly, because
you know what I mean?
Because without fans cheering,
That'll play a huge factor into the voting. Yeah.
Because the slam dunk contest is iconic. You had Jordan, Vince Carter, Dominic Wilkins. It's so iconic. But it's like if you don't have fans there, it's like I love commentating. Obviously, that's why I'm in the program.
Yep.
But it's like there's only so much commentating commentators can do. You know what I mean? Like
you can't.
Fan noise plays such a huge factor into
Exactly.
announcing and stuff like that.
You can't make it. You can't turn a building off if there's no fans there.
Mm-mm.
So it's really interesting to see. Now, if I had to bet, I can't remember. Man, I'm kind of drawing a blank because everything's so crazy with COVID and it happened in March and all that. But they didn't COVID was already here whenever the All-Star game was last year, right? Yes, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
It was, for sure. So was it canceled?
I believe so.
It was canceled?
Yeah,
So, okay,
it was
so.
right before, it was right before the second half of the NBA season.
Okay, so we have not had a slam dunk contest. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can have a 3-point shootout, you can have the Rising Stars game, you can have all that because obviously, I mean, with 3-point shooting, like you can watch that and be entertained. But like the slam dunk contest, all their dunks feed off the energy of the fans. And whenever you don't have fans, that puts a huge hole on the. I mean, it's like you can do the virtual, but it's like that only goes so far. Like it will never ever be the same. And hopefully, we can finally just get back to like where we were.
Yeah, hopefully, right now we're looking at a March Madness season.
Oh, that is right.
Because we're less than 3 weeks away from Selection Sunday, and hopefully, as long as COVID backs up like it's doing, we will get a March Madness bracket this year.
Supposed to be in Indy this year, which really for us that's awful because I just want to go to a March Madness games since it's that close for us. So that's really unfortunate. But that was that was one of the most heartbreaking things last year. Was whenever it was awful because COVID happened in March. Really started going in March. Was that March Madness is one of the best sports times of the year. I don't care if you follow college basketball or not. Like March Madness
you hear
is March
about
Madness.
it and everybody's talking about it, and it's just so fun to be a part
Anybody can do it. All you look at this. Obviously, everybody's done it. You look at the seed. You pick which team.
You can literally just close your eyes and boop. Yeah.
It's so fun and it's something that everybody can interact with. And I really think that that's honestly something that's kind of not really trying to pick and choose because I don't want to take light of it, but I think having the no fans and stuff really I think is going to make like the tournament challenges and all that more interactive because it's like nobody can go to it, so you might as well take your chances on games and watch it from home. Man, I just love watching that one shining moment at the very end. That's iconic.
There's so much heart and soul put in from every team that's in this tournament because they know they got one shot to prove.
Yeah.
Loyola Chicago, perfect example. A couple years back, prime example. I mean, dude, they're on that crazy run. I think they're like an 11 seed going in or something like that. I think because it was something crazy. It was not predictable.
They weren't supposed to be there,
And they made it to the Final Four.
It was either the Final
Four, Elite Eight.
Final Four?
I'm pretty sure Final Four.
It was one of the two, but I mean, it's so crazy to run. I mean, and the buzzer beaters. I mean, takes me back to the Villanova, North Carolina. One of the most iconic college basketball moments of all time, easily.
Correct.
I love it. I love it. And hey, kind of a new segment. I just thought of on the fly. Bring in a little segment on the show. Give us our March Madness updates on how many points we got. I know that a bunch of us in the studio are going to be doing March Madness, so
for sure.
Kind of give an update on scores on that. I am 100% down for that.
Yep.
So, doing pretty good, I think. So, I'm just trying to watch time. It's always interesting. So, I'm kind of just trying to see where I want to go here.
We could just take a look at the offseason.
Well, here, I was about to say, I was just about to. So, Eli, the Bears, okay? The Bears, okay? Where, what would you like to happen? I gave my dream off season, but I might revamp that just a little bit since everything's went down. So,
see, let's just recap from the playoffs here. We had a chance against the Saints. Dropped it. Forget that. We lost 8-8. First round exit once again. But we didn't sign any of the big name quarterbacks that were available like we should have. Yeah, shocker. Because we have great luck with quarterbacks. Carson Wentz is gone. Phillip Rivers retired. Matthew Stafford, I really thought that was a big one. I thought we had a chance. Didn't happen.
Well, especially even too. I mean, with
Drew's waving in the back.
Rams. Imagine being a Rams fan.
Imagine not scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Okay, sorry. You had John Wolford starting, okay? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
But a really big factor for our offense was Allen Robinson, who is really ultimately going to make his decision based on who's quarterback at the end of this offseason. And as of right now...
he said he wants to come back.
Did he?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
He reported Monday. He said that he is down to come back.
Well, that's really great to hear.
But
Definitely need him.
But real quick,
Bring
I
him
also
back.
did see like where that his agent said that the Bears haven't even reached out to him.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's up in the air.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think he wants to come back because I think it's a great organization, not the people in charge of the organization, but it's just a great team to be a part of. But what I want to see in this offseason, since we missed out on all these great quarterbacks that were available, and we should have got one, but I want to see us if there's a talented quarterback available in the first round of the draft, because we finally have a first-round draft pick in a while.
my bold prediction right here, and you can take it to the bank. And if I'm kind of saying this so that the Eagles don't do this. I say Bears trade up in the draft, get Trey Lance,
I think
North
that's
Dakota
a very
State.
real possibility.
Please, Eagles do not. We'll get into that later.
But like I'm saying, yeah, if Trey Lance is available, I think that's very possible. But if there's not a talented quarterback, stay away from it. Take another L for the next season. Just draft O-line. That's my biggest thing. And if A-Rob walks, then there's so much
Here's
talent at the wide receiver position.
I'm kind of also giving another bold prediction, and I can honestly kind of see it happening, and you're gonna be like, whoa, like. But I say A-Rob, if he doesn't go, I can see him go to the Vikings. Okay, here's the deal.
That would
okay,
be a
interesting.
good destination.
And here's why I say that. Like, well, here's the deal. Can you imagine? And I don't know what the Vikings cap situation is and all that, but I think the Vikings are really, really, really kind of close. Obviously, I think losing Diggs last year kind of hurt, but at the same time, you had Justin Jefferson. But think about this: Allen Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen.
Oh, that would be dangerous.
See,
Can Kirk Cousins deliver the ball?
Exactly.
From what I've heard from most Vikings fans, that's their biggest thing is the quarterback position.
And they paid a lot of money for him. It reminds me of Nick Foles in Jacksonville a couple years back. But
they've got a great run game with Dalvin Cook. They've
that's
got
what I'm saying.
Excellent receivers. They've got a defense that is young and up and coming.
Their secondary is where they hurt the most. Getting rid of Xavier Rose to go to Indy, that was huge for them because then they got Harrison Smith, right?
Yep.
For the strong safety there. And he can't do it by himself. He balled last year, but they need more secondary pieces. And truthfully, if I'm going to say A-Rob going anywhere, I think you can go add a piece to the Colts. That would be tremendous for
huge.
them. Or I don't think Baltimore would sign
Broncos?
him. I don't think Baltimore would deliver the
The
ball
Broncos
to him.
already have so much talent there, so much young talent.
But they have a decent amount of cap money though. Like I'm thinking of like cap money purposes. Jets. That's
I was
easily
thinking Jacksonville.
Jacksonville too. Like
Pair him
that's
up
true.
with DJ Chark.
That's true. I mean,
Plus,
a lot of teams
I'm
he could go.
assuming they get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Which is probably,
that is going to happen.
That's what I'm saying, but you can't. It's an
I would put my whole
assumption
college
because it's
tuition.
gonna happen, but
I
it
would,
hasn't.
I would put my whole college tuition on
Hey,
that.
Drew, write that down. Write it down.
We'll sign the check.
I'll take his tuition.
Well, I'll be dropping out next show. But all right, Brandon, dream
Dream scenario?
or kind of just kind of your off season. If you were the GM,
If I was
realistically
the GM,
here.
Yeah, I'll just trade for Mahomes.
Yeah.
But
Cat spaces off.
so Ben Roethlisberger said that he is willing to get creative. That's what's creative with his contract.
It's an interesting.
Confirm. Ben Roethlisberger, Philly special confirmed.
Creative, yeah. But the most money he can save the Steelers, $14.3 million, cutting his cap room. And that would put $14.34 million of dead money in 2022, which we will have more money in 2022 right
Better
now.
than $33 million of what we had in Carson Wentz, the biggest in NFL history. So, hey, guess that ain't too bad.
But getting that $14.3 million, I think clinches Juju or Bud. You're going to get one of those back with that $14.34 million.
I'm going to be honest. I think that you can, if I was you, and, I would much rather have Juju, I think, than Bud.
Over Bud? You see, that's what I'm not.
That's why it's
such
kind
a
of
process. I think I
wishy-washy
should get off.
because I think you have at least T.J. Watt, okay,
Yeah.
coming off one edge.
But the thing about that is, you saw how dominant our defense was with Bud Dupree and T.J.
true.
Watt. Because that's what I was going to get into next,
That's
about
true.
getting J.J. Watt. I personally, Bud Dupree makes a great defense. J.J. Watt makes a great story.
Yep.
J.J. Watt wouldn't even get 100% of the snaps because we have Stephon Tuitt, Tyson Alualu, Cameron Hayward. You're not going to get a starting spot. You might not even get a starting spot.
You would have great depth, though. You would have so
we'd
much
have
depth.
I'm just trying to think who's. Okay, I was thinking like
we drafted a rookie, Alex Highsmith, for Bud Dupree if we weren't able to sign him.
Okay.
Because Art Rooney said that he wants Bud Dupree. He said Bud Dupree is his number one priority under getting Ben's contract lowered, of course.
Wow, over Juju.
Over Juju. Juju wants to stay. As I said earlier, he says, I do not want to leave.
I can see him signing with the Patriots.
Juju?
Seriously.
Bill Belichick
If he's not going there, he's going to Chargers or Rams. He said he doesn't want to be in a Rams jersey, Drew. But he said that's where he would go. That'd be his preferred destination if it wasn't with Pittsburgh. But like you said, even if we don't keep Juju, the Steelers have drafted a receiver in every draft since 2011. And name one that didn't.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that is interesting.
You do have a great history of receivers.
You can't name another team that's better at drafting wide receivers. But
I can't say the same. Can't say the same at all.
Don't even think about it. JJ Whiteside. But for the draft, if Harris drops below the Dolphins, we need to take him if we don't re-sign Connor. Because Connor, he is a good back.
Travis Etienne?
What?
He'd be a great.
Travis Etienne, maybe?
Either one of those running backs.
Either one of those. But if he's not there, got to take an offensive lineman. Because our run game ranked dead last in the NFL. O-line play, bottom 10. You got to get that built back up. Because you're talking about 3 years ago with Mike Munchak having the number one offensive line in the NFL to now bottom 10 in the league.
Wow.
You've got to build that back up, especially with the loss of Marquise Pouncey.
Yep.
Well, I guess we got to go to my dumpster fire, ain't that right?
Let's fix this organization. Might have to add another hour to the show.
You know it's so bad being an Eagles fan that whenever it comes draft time, you already know that they're not going to pick who you want them to pick. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, I can already see it right now. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm just going to make a statement. I'm not going to get my hopes up because whenever I got my hopes up last year with Justin Jefferson, you took Jalen Reagor one pick before.
Maybe you should start asking for the opposite person of who you want.
I might as well just ask for Trevor Lawrence at this point. Like, you might as well. I mean, we are so much we are horrible in the cap right now. Zach Ertz will probably either get traded or cut here soon, which sucks because he's still under contract, but we just can't keep him on the money. Alshon Jeffrey is expected to be released as Deshaun Jackson. That was predictable from the start.
JJ, number one receiver.
There you go. Wide receiver one, baby. Watch him have
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you really think, if Howie Roseman really thinks, if we can go into this season with second-year Jalen Hurts with receivers like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Jalen Reagor, who did not perform at all.
What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna sign? You don't have the money to sign anybody.
I know. That's why I'm like.
I am aware.
I'm like, how do you not draft a receiver? Like,
you have to. There's no way around it.
We won't. That's what I'm saying. Like,
they're gonna draft that number 2 tight end.
I'm telling you.
Pick.
Okay, I really had a dream about that. But here's the deal. I'm seeing Kyle Pitts pop up in the Eagles mock drafts. I'm like, no, I don't want a tight end in the 6th pick.
Yeah, why would you waste your
He has great talent.
You already have.
Like, Kyle Pitts has great talent, and honestly, even if we end, if that actually happens, my main thing, I do not want a quarterback. Please, just let me ride with Jalen Hurts and give me.
Roseman is listening right now. He's like,
He's gotta be a quarterback.
we have to.
I'm like, dude, give me. I'm trying to think. Give me RG3 back there with Jalen Hurts.
RG3.
I'm serious.
He is a free agent. He's a free agent.
Give me anybody. Give me Johnny Manziel. Give me anybody.
Johnny Manziel.
But
bringing back Johnny Football. I love
give me
it.
anybody.
He's too busy running 50
Give me
yards.
back Tim Tebow. Like, give me
Tim
anybody
Tebow.
but a rookie QB. That's all I'm asking.
Far
I
back.
do not. Now, a rookie QB in a later round, okay, kind of. I like that because it's kind of like, technically you're not giving Jalen Hurts the full keys. He's still a competition.
Right.
But a 6th pick, like, you need.
Yeah.
And like I said, if they would end up to draft Kyle Pitts, that tight end out of Florida, okay, like, at least we have some weapon.
Yeah.
Like, at least we drafted a weapon in general, and it's not a receiver. But, man,
I think he was a tight end, but he was a receiver.
Exactly.
He's a
in
receiver,
college.
though.
he'll probably be, like,
If you were to draft him, I think that would be a great.
because, I mean, we have no linebacker position. Like, this is atrocious.
I think you're kind of in the same position.
I'm down bad right now. I am down bad right now. Like, I don't know how this can get any worse. Like,
Don't say that.
I'm serious. I think it's like 3-13. Like,
I'm feeling that. I'm saying like.
Unless Jalen Hurts just comes out and balls out, and we have a.
I mean, it's going to turn into a Mahomes play. He's going to run around, dive, throw a dot, face mask.
I did see a stat where Jalen Hurts was compared to like the first rookie or other rookie QBs. That was like Tua, I think Herbert, and then Burrow for like their first 4 starts. Like yards wise, Jalen Hurts had more yards in his first 4 starts than I think. I want to say Burrow.
Burrow didn't throw very much in his first. It was a Joe Mixon game. Burrow's first game.
Yeah. So it's like, he had. Oh man. I'm just like I don't know what to say. I'm just in shock. How we went this bad this quick is unbelievable. I'm really glad that the Texans are in the NFL because they're more of a bigger dump.
They make you look good.
Speaking of which, they haven't done anything other than release J.J. Watt. They have not done anything.
And I think let's go where we think Deshaun Watson's going to go. I think Carolina's going to find a way to get him. I hope it doesn't mean giving up Christian McCaffrey to having Rod in Texas. I hope that doesn't happen.
That would be a blockbuster deal. That would be a blockbuster. Yeah. I mean, huge deal. But it's like, why would you do that? I mean, you just got, I think, David Johnson, right? Mm-hmm. Just last year, so who knows? But I think he'll go.
Carolina's just cleared up so much space for him.
That's what I'm saying. Carolina, I mean, I can't say Jets because I just don't think Jets is.
I do feel bad for Teddy Bridgewater though if he does go to Carolina. Bridgewater, he's a decent quarterback. He just never had the chance to shine.
He was great. People forget he was great in Minnesota. He was great in Minnesota, and it was such a shame that he fell off that quick. But I'll probably go Carolina with you. I think that they would be the team to say like we're going all in. Like we're just going to trade for him. I could just see Carolina being that option.
I do think Washington may be sneaky and try to get him because
they
are talking about trading many picks.
Please
I saw where their linebacker, of course, he has no word in the GM, but they asked him how many picks would you give up for Deshaun Watson. He said all of them. So I think Washington may be sneaky. What do you think?
Yeah, I think
Bears.
Confirmed. Pull the trigger. Super Bowl 2021 confirmed. But I think any of those teams would actually be a great place for him, just because they're all up and coming. Like Washington they're not a great team, obviously, but I mean they were way better than anybody expected this year. Great defense coming up.
Their defense is gonna be so good. I'm not too thrilled. I'm not too thrilled.
Pretty decent offense. Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, but
they're really coming up, and I'm not. Oh.
I think offensive wise, the best spot for him, just to like showcase his talent, would be Denver, just because of how.
Good call. I totally forgot about Denver.
They got a great running back core as well.
They've got a lot of cap too.
Now I know John Elway technically is not the GM anymore. I think he moved. They somehow switched roles or something, but I do know that John Elway is not technically the GM anymore. He's still with the organization, but not the GM. So, and like I think I'm right on that. I think I am. I remember seeing the report that the day that it came out. Like I said, I'll have to fact check it, but I mean, I could see the Broncos doing that too. I mean, they're just kind of like,
I mean,
let's just see what happens.
You got Von Miller, who they're either cutting or trading after the report came out about his situation. But
you think so?
They said, and it would save him so much money. I mean,
that's true.
He's on the.
He's kind of fell off.
He's fallen off.
I mean, he got injured, so it's kind of tough to say. But
get something for him while you still can. I mean, what's the point of holding on to him?
I agree with that.
So
I think competing wise, I think Washington would be the best place for him. Mm-hmm. But offensive wise, it'd be Denver.
Well,
but I can definitely see Carolina.
Yeah, I think, and that's Washington is a really good team. But offense wise, I think I'm taking Curtis Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and Robbie Anderson over Terry
That is
McLaurin
true.
And Antonio
That is
Gibson.
true.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
That is true.
But you have to see what Washington's going to do in this next draft.
Right.
So realistically, another big free agent. Where's J.J. Watt going? Do you want me to start for it?
I don't want to say Pittsburgh, but it's a possibility. It's really
you can save up your money. Save up money.
Yeah. They don't.
Keep
they don't
Bud,
need him.
keep Juju, keep Hilton, keep Sutton, keep Tyson. There's so many people we gotta keep. 28 players are gone.
Yep.
Don't go after a J.J. Watt.
You don't
but they're
want
going to. Give me two at Tyson Lulu and Cam Hayward over J.J. Watt.
Whoa! I thought you were honestly going to say
Bud Dupree, Tyson Lulu, Cam Hayward, Stephon Tuitt. I'm good.
They have so much depth.
Yes.
That is insane.
Yeah. I mean,
Man.
Tyson Lulu
Man, you know
ranked
what?
top 2. Cam Hayward, top 5. Stephon Tuitt, top 5. T.J. Watt, 1. Bud Dupree, 1. I mean, why would you go out and sign J.J. Watt to more money?
But at the same time, you're kind of taking a risk on Bud because he just tore his ACL. So it's like if you pay him and then he underperforms, it's like, dude, like we just, I wouldn't really say blew it, but like
shot yourself in the foot.
Exactly. So it's at least you're not in a huge dumpster fire.
I'm trying to think of teams that would need like a rush.
I'd
Green
say
Bay, Buffalo.
Here's the deal.
Yeah,
I was about to say if it's not, I can see him going Green Bay. I'm just saying if you have 2 legends in A-Rod and Green Bay,
that'd do a lot for like just morale in general. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. And any team that wants to
Green
win.
Bay's defense was not bad this year either. In the
And
second
then,
half
like I
of the
said, Green Bay
season.
needs him. Like
Yeah.
Green Bay technically needs him, and
Green
depending on
Bay-
how their cap situation is, like
If they don't keep Aaron Jones, they got.
they'll be
plenty of
fine.
time. Yeah.
And
that's my thing. Like I like J.J. Watt. He's an amazing player, and it'd be cool to see all 3 of them on the same team. But
how much is he gonna play?
How much he's gonna play for 1 and 2? If I could get Aaron Jones instead of J.J. Watt, we need a running back.
Yep.
If he doesn't go to Miami, don't pick him up. But if he doesn't go to Miami, I think we have a good chance of getting him.
He's going to Eagles. Yeah. I mean, he wants to win. So my best bet. I'm not. He doesn't go to Cleveland. I don't see it happening.
I don't think it.
No, I
don't.
personally think Cleveland's gonna fall off a little bit this year.
Really?
I think they'll still reach the playoffs, but I can't see them going out the first round this year. I think they're gonna come out and they're gonna be overhyped as usual.
They were really overhyped a couple years back after
They've got to get better on defense, in my opinion, to do anything.
Their defense is getting there, but they got Myles Garrett and who else is their D-line? I mean,
I'm curious to see how far they could have gone if they played a team like Buffalo instead of Kansas City, because Kansas City's defense is better than Buffalo's, in my opinion. But I don't know. It would have been something to see.
The only player that I want the Eagles to re-sign, if we even have the money to, Jalen Mills. Think about. He's very underrated in my opinion, and I mean this. I wouldn't really say a little bias, kind of. But here's the deal. Here's my point behind that. That dude can play every single position on the defense side of the ball. He's played corner the Super Bowl year. He played safety, and I thought he did a pretty good job at safety, to be honest. Like, I mean, he was pretty solid on defense, and like he's so flexible, and he's so versatile, and like that's really good to have in the NFL because you have injuries come up. That's all I want the Eagles to resign. Anybody else, you can let them go.
just my.
That's the only player I want. Seriously, I don't have, and we don't have like a ton of big free agents either. But that's the only person that I want back.
It's so odd because usually Steelers offseason you don't see this many key players be on the block of either staying or going. But I mean, you look on every position, there's a big player that's either staying or going. Because I mean, especially corner. Our cornerback position has increased tremendously. 2017 year. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to see Ross Cockrell in a Steelers uniform again. But I mean, to look at this, you got Joe Hayden, Steven Nelson, Mike Hilton, Cam Sutton, Justin Lane, and James Pierre. Those guys, half of them could be gone because Hayden's contract is big, Steven Nelson's contract is big, Mike Hilton's a free agent, and Cam Sutton's a free agent. You're not going to keep all of them.
No, I say probably your best bet's Mike Hilton, but that's just
And he's not even a true corner. So if he signs somewhere, he's not going to dominate at a corner position because he is a nickel corner. He doesn't play regular corner. He's a blitz-heavy run stopper. That's what he plays.
Oh man. I'm just saying J. Jaw's gonna have a breakout year.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Looking at 3 touchdowns on the year. Ooh. Better start signing on fantasy football. Number 1 overall pick.
Get them rookie cards, man.
Get them rookie cards.
Man, I can't. The amount of bad drafts we've had is absolutely astronomical. It's
I think this
unreal.
past year for us, this is one of the better drafts we've had in a while. Because Mooney was a steal. Mooney, I love Darnell.
Underrated, very
He's
underrated.
So good. He's such a good route runner.
And it'll be interesting this year because there's going to be a lot of diamonds in the 7th round this year because there's no combine and half the players set out.
That's a
There's
great
going to be
point.
so many underrated players that either will be undrafted or 7th round.
Wow, man, we looking. How are we looking? 10 minutes. Oh shoot, I thought. Okay, fun fact. So kind of a fun fact. You held up to 10, and I thought we either have 10 seconds or 10 minutes. And I was kind of panicking a little bit. Not gonna lie. I was like, man, we gotta. I was like, whew.
We gotta keep on talking.
Well, I mean, we don't. I mean, there's just so much though. Like there is so much news that we've missed. I'm also trying to think of it all, because what?
Mariners.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I totally skipped over that. Wow, good call. So the Mariners are kind of in some hot water right now, major hot water.
Yeah.
Their CEO, Kevin Mothers, I think it's how you say it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mariner Madness. It is. He basically resigned, aka you could say /fired, because he made a comment about the owners, and the owners are in part with Nintendo. Fun fact, and so their ethnicity. So he made a comment about that. That kind of surfaced up, and as we've seen it many times, I would, if you're in a high position, I would keep your mouth shut. Yep. Because things can easily surface up, and he gone. Which, I mean, it's just like, come on, man. It's like, just be smart.
Yeah.
Just be
It's just
smart.
so
I mean,
unnecessary,
you
too.
know the position that you're in. Like, you know the title that you have. It's like, I mean, and especially in today's day and age, it's
Anything
like,
you say is going to be brought out to the public.
Whether-
it be
I
in
mean,
the right
it's-
context
No
or
matter
not.
what you do, it's public.
how many
Because
tweets
we're
have you
just in that
seen?
age.
How many tweets have you seen? Whether especially draft night. Draft night is a huge one where these comes up.
Oh, yeah.
Where like you'll see NFL players, NBA players, or MLB players will tweet something like in their teenage years.
Yep.
Get resurfaced back up.
Those weeks
and then
before the draft and following the draft is huge for people like that.
yes, and it's like they'll find those tweets and it gets everywhere, and then they have to make a statement.
Yep.
Which I mean it's kind of annoying because it's like I said that when I was 15, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But people are gonna.
still
People can
get
view
it.
that
Yeah,
the
it
wrong way.
doesn't
It's,
matter,
it's a character issue, and it's like, for your draft stock, you have to delete it. But it's just, it's like, come on, man.
Talking about tweets, there was 2 big tweets that came about this week. One being the Titans' first-round pick saying that he will not play in Houston anymore. Their offensive lineman that got injured. He said he is done with Houston. Done with Tennessee. No further comment.
Bust.
Yeah. He wasn't very good. And the second one being Des Bryant last night tweeted that he will be done in Baltimore, was not the right fit, but he wants to play 2 more years in the NFL elsewhere. Will he play elsewhere, do you think?
Yeah, I think he will. Personally,
I don't know.
I think.
I
I think
don't
the
think
teams kind of like
he
the
will.
Bucks would just give him a shot, just like Antonio Brown. Just my opinion. Yeah. I'd like to see him play.
I would love to see him play, but I don't know. I don't know where he'd go.
I could see it going both ways.
Yeah.
Man,
Who's that?
it's like, oh my bad.
No,
sorry.
you're good. I can't remember who they were playing, but he didn't get enough snaps or whatever, and he said, "I'm done. I'm quit." No, he got tested
It was
positive for
COVID.
before the
That was a
game.
big.
Yeah, and
That was
like,
Cowboys, Ravens, yeah.
I'm not playing another game for the rest of the year. I'm done. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah,
and
like,
then he played like the next week.
He reminds me
He's a
so
diva.
much of T.O. Like, he reminds me so much, like modern day T.O. He reminds me so much.
Except for the talent's out there.
No.
He's nowhere near as good.
I'll be honest, I'm not a big T.O. fan. But anyway, it sucks because the Mariners are already not very good. I mean, they're just average. They're average, below average. And it's like you just cause more of a mess that you didn't need to. Like,
Not somebody else gonna have to.
it's
come and
like
fix
right before spring training too. So teams are hype and excited, and then the players have to deal with reporters of them bringing this up. It's like, come on, it's like,
it's not really their business, but it kind of is. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know. It's
They just want to play the game.
it's just dumb. I think it's just dumb.
It definitely is.
Oh man, I'm excited though, man. I think spring training games start 2 days from now.
Pretty
3 days?
soon.
2 or 3 days from now. Could be wrong. I'm really thrilled. Come
We could do way too early Super Bowl predictions or division winner predictions.
Oh, division. Start out with division.
For NFL? Eagles Super Bowl 56 champs.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got 5.
5, yeah.
So, what do you think, Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, that's fine, yeah.
Super Bowl, yeah.
You can do that.
Super Bowl, okay. Really early.
They running back? They running it back?
Nah.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I think they'll make the playoffs, though.
Easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think they'll make the playoffs. It just depends on how consistent their defense is. The Bucks, by the way.
Yeah.
Running it back is so hard to do. Now, Tom Brady's done it before, but it's just that's so tough. Super Bowl hangover, no pun intended for Tom Brady, by the way. That was something. Oh, I forgot about that.
Throw the trophy.
Throw the trophy. Throw the trophy.
I think everybody's heart
and
kinda
she
jumped
wanted an
in.
apology.
Listen. You don't want to see me. Okay, listen. My whole take on this is this. Sure, your dad, or I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, his dad.
Made
Her
it.
dad.
Made, craftsmanship, Cool. Really nice of him to do that. But you are not on the team that earned that trophy, okay?
Yeah.
So whenever you win said trophy, a.k.a. the Lombardi Trophy, I think you can do what you want with it.
I think Gronk said that a few years back.
Gronk says that
The
you
dude
can
put
do
a
it.
hole in the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah.
They don't care. They've got 7 of them. They'll find another one.
I think it just makes
just
it
like
that
so
point,
much
Tom
more
Brady
iconic.
would be-
Everybody's going to remember that.
Yeah,
They're
everybody-
going to look at that
yeah.
trophy and be like, that's Gronk.
that was a
funded
big
it.
Karen moment, if I do say so.
For
and
sure.
I understand. Some people have the viewpoint of, oh well, it's prestigious. And have you seen what they do with the Stanley Cup trophy?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I've watched
that's
hockey.
wild.
Yeah. They drink out of the Stanley Cup
Like,
trophy.
As they should.
Yeah, as they should. And
You can clean it.
each player gets a week of it after they win the trophy. They can do whatever they want with it. Most
so
players.
Every single player?
Every single player on that team gets it for a week after they all eat cereal. They eat soup. They do whatever they want with this thing. And
Hockey's a different breed, man.
Hockey is a different. Hockey fights and everything.
I need to get into that.
I do too.
I've been paying
I need
attention
get-
to it a little bit lately, but
I mean,
I'm
if
definitely
you're
gonna dive
talking
into it
hockey
this
right
year.
now, you'd think Edmonton would be a lot better than what they are right now. They got 2 of the top players in the NHL.
Yeah.
And they're still just not getting done simply because
Okay,
of
Brandon,
goaltending.
I'm going to be honest. Off the fly, I'm going to try to run with you.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of think of what you're putting down, but this is so new to me. So
No,
we're going to.
Connor McDavid is the best player in the NHL, hands down. And they have another player whose name slips my mind, but they have 2 of the top 5 players in the NHL on their team, and they can't get it done because they simply can't get a goalie.
Really?
They did make a major comeback last night, though.
Yeah,
They were
last
down
night.
3-1. I think it was in the second period.
Okay,
Yeah, dude.
I guess I'm out of the loop. I guess I'm out of the loop
This is
then.
me with MLB right now. This is me. I'm just like, yep, okay. Trevor Bauer, got it. But yeah, they made a huge comeback in the third period. They ended up winning that game 4-3. But yeah,
It's
Go
interesting.
Flyers, baby.
he's just a Philly boy. Oh,
Give
man.
me gritty all day.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
but it's interesting. We'll get it going. We're good at
The only player I
get,
know-
NHL right over there.
Kind of little sub over there, but.
You can have it peeking out of the bottom. Yeah.
Well, make sure to follow us on Instagram, like our Facebook, listen to us on Spotify, subscribe to the YouTube, obviously. There you go.
Look at that.
Obviously, YouTube, you've already found it, Sports Cubed. Spotify, Sports Cubed. Instagram, sports.cubes.podcast, and Facebook, Sports Cubed. We post different graphics on Instagram, so if you're banking on graphics through TV, kind of missing out. Not gonna lie, especially Instagram. That's a huge one. But I think we're gonna wrap her up, boys. I think it was great to finally have a show back.
Yeah.
Weather is not gonna stop us now. Okay.
no, sir.
No, sir.
We are
we are done with
sunny
that.
and warm.
Done with that.
yeah,
It's
we'll
over.
keep
It's
it sunny.
over, ladies and gentlemen. But that's going to do it for us on the episode 5 edition of Sports Cubed. From Kyler Gammon,
Brand Beard.
And Eli Grimes.
you'll get it one of these times.
Oh, man.
We'll see you next time.
It just takes a moment to spread from one person to another. So how do you break the germ cycle? Wash your hands often and always after coughing, sneezing, handling food, and going to the bathroom. Lather the front, back, and in between for at least 20 seconds. If there's no soap or water available, use a hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Regularly disinfect common surfaces, including your phone. These small things can help break the germ cycle.